Indiana is becoming one of the latest states to consider legislation to stop the sterilization and mutilation of children who claim to be another gender. Republican lawmakers in several states are pushing to restrict doctors and other medical providers from doing the life-altering procedures on kids. And one of them is the state of Indiana. And joining us now to discuss the effort is Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita. General, good to see you. Thank you for making the time for us today. Schools, physicians, and therapists, they're rushing children into these chemical and surgical castration and sterilizations. Parental rights are being challenged as well. Indiana is starting to take steps to stop it along with other states. Talk to us about the effort in your state and how you're supporting it.
Yeah, Tom, thanks for having us on from Indiana. You know, the fact of the matter is not only is this perverted and disgusting, it's really child abuse. It's plain and simple. And frankly, these people ought to be in jail for what they're doing to kids. Now, this bill that lawmakers here in the state are considering, I don't think goes that far, but it certainly makes an all-out prohibition from doctors, nurses, hospitals, healthcare providers from making money on what is dangerous, irreversible, and certainly shouldn't be encouraged. Mm-hmm. And it's all being done without the parents even knowing or consenting. So yeah, it's really a terrible situation. This is irreversible and it's very damaging. And we're already seeing the regrets, Tom, from kids who have now become adults and are wondering why the parents and adults in their life at the time did nothing to help them or stop this from happening.
Yeah, you know, in my state of Tennessee, you saw that video from Vanderbilt where they're saying this is a cash cow, $40,000 just for the top surgeries, $40,000, lots of follow-up visits. I mean, they're really looking to push this to make money. And don't seem to care about the ongoing mental health crisis. But let's talk about parents, though, for a second, because we do want to protect parental rights here. Right. But you do have parents who are pushing their children into this. They either can't or they just won't say no to their kids, or they've just been told, hey, this is all normal, so just go ahead, go down this drug and surgical route rather than mental health treatment. What do you do about parents who want to advance their kids' transition?
You know, the erosion of the family unit, Tom, is probably our biggest problem in a free republic, in this free enterprise system. And there's so many attacks on the nuclear family today, and this is another one. And yeah, the only thing I can say is that parents are being duped into thinking that their kids deserve this or this is good, when really it's child mutilation and it's child abuse. And so, you know, government can't and shouldn't do everything. A lot of this goes back to churches and community and reminding parents how to parent again, but certainly they have to be notified, Tom, and they have to take a better role in all this. You know, I'm just glad my parents, when I was a little kid and told them I wanted to be a fireman, I'm glad they didn't lock me in my room and set the house on fire.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
That would have been the end of me. But you know, I make a light comparison, but my Lord. Your brain isn't developed until your mid-20s. We know that. Right. You certainly you shouldn't be listening to your kids because they, in fact, said something. You have to parent them. Yeah. And a lot of times that means giving them parameters, discipline, listening, of course, but not following what they do.
Yeah. The president has said that he supports gender transition surgery for kids, and it needs to be in every state. Listen to this.
Do you think states should have a right to ban gender-affirming health care?
I don't think any state or anybody should have the right to do that. As a moral question and as a legal question. I just think it's wrong.
Now, the NHS in Great Britain has come out and they admitted that they've closed their trans clinics for kids because they found that trans was really, in many cases, transitional or temporary. They've seen a lot of links to autism. They're focusing on mental health services. There was just a whistleblower in Missouri who came forward saying she was at St. Louis Children's Hospital and said that a letter of support from a therapist was one visit was really all that was needed in order to proceed with this type of life-altering procedure. Are you pulling together with AGs around the country to try to protect these kids? Is this going to be a national effort, do you think?
I think to a certain extent we already have. We've written to the Biden administration collectively about our concerns, and and going back to the Biden clip, there's two ways you can take the president at this point. One, you can completely ignore him because you can argue he doesn't know what day it is, or two, you can take him as the serious threat, even if a puppet, that he represents in terms of socialism destroying the nuclear family. They want nothing better than to rip the family apart. And when they say it's immoral for a parent to get involved, for a state to get involved, they understand that too, that children are our greatest asset. But instead of protecting our greatest asset, they want to destroy our greatest asset.
Yeah.
Not unlike they want to destroy other things in our free society, whether it be fossil fuels or other things, or this financial return on investment rather than following this ESG nonsense that they do.
Yeah.
It's an all-out attack, and now they have attacked our greatest asset, and it's not an oil reserve, it's our kids.
Yeah.
And so we have to wake up.
And I want to ask you about that because I want to bring in just real quick the fentanyl crisis. The president mentioned it in his State of the Union. The White House seems to finally be talking about it. Are you seeing cartel activity or other impacts in Indiana? And how are you in the AG's office and the government there trying to address the problem?
Yeah, thanks, Tom, for that question. It's just another example of destroying the greatness of this country. You can't have a country if you don't have a sovereign border, a common language, and a good culture. So this is their all-out attack on it. Indiana is not a border state, technically, but in reality, we are. Every state's a border state. So I've been down to the border 3 times, and the fake news in this state went crazy. They couldn't believe that I had actually left the state and went to the border, and I actually spent $2,000 to do it, which I thought was a pretty good deal. But we came back from those trips where I saw firsthand, these aren't the same families that came under the arms of the Statue of Liberty to have a better life in America. These are, in a lot of instances, single male criminals let out of their country's jails to wreak havoc in our country, bringing fentanyl, bringing kids across the border who are sex trafficked, bringing terrible things to this country. And Joe Biden and the socialists that are with him are doing it, and they're doing it on purpose. There's no other way around it. So we filed our own lawsuit as an inland state to go after the administration. We're the first state in the nation to do it as an inland state. And we're going to continue to fight back. And I'd like to see I'm not the governor, but I'd like to see our Indiana Guard sent down to help Governor Abbott and others on the Texas border. They deserve that help.
All right, terrific. We're going to have to leave it there, but we'll be talking to you about both of these efforts of yours again, I'm sure. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom.